Hello friends, welcome again to this channel. Today we are to solve this problem, very simple problem, circuit analysis involving alternating current, and the elements are capacitors and resistors and an inductor. Okay, let's go. Let me read the problem. A 100 microfarad capacitor is connected in parallel with a coil of 10 ohm resistance and a 30 ohm reactance. What is the equivalent impedance? We assume that omega is equals to 377. Okay, so to be able for us, first to understand clearly the problem, it's much better for us to illustrate the circuit. So again, there is a capacitor and the value of this capacitor is 100 microfarad, and this capacitor is in parallel with a coil. So there is a coil here. The coil has a resistor and reactance. Okay, so it says here that there is a 10 ohm resistor and the XL here is also 10 ohms. Okay, and this one is supplied. Okay, now omega is, I'll just draw here, omega is 377. So we are tasked to get the equivalent impedance of this one. So the first branch here, this is the first branch. We can name this as Z sub 1, and the other branch here, the name is Z sub 2. So if we are getting the total or impedance or the equivalent impedance, we are to have the single value of Z1 and Z2. So we know that let's say Z sub t, okay, since that is parallel, so that will be Z sub 1 multiplied to Z sub 2 divided by Z sub 1 plus Z sub 2. Okay, so but since in our Z sub 2, okay, we have already a value, so that is 10 for the real part, and for the reactance part, that is 30 ohms. So J 30, this is in ohms. Okay, and our Z sub 1, we are given only the capacitance, and if that is the case, that is capacitance, the general form of that is R minus J X sub C, but our R here is 0, so what remains is J X sub C, and X sub C is 1 over omega C. Okay, so here we can right away substitute your omega value, which is 377, and your C also is 100 microfarad. If we are going to make it a reactance, we normally use the farad value, so we convert microfarad to farad by multiplying raised to the 10 raised to the negative 6. Okay, so the value of this one, you will use a calculator. So we multiply 377 times 100 times raised to the negative 6. So that is 0.0377, and we get the inverse of that. So that is 26.52 ohms. That is your X sub C. Okay, but since that we are looking for J1, so this will be J X sub C, so that will be negative J 26.52. Okay, so we have now value for J sub 1, so we can use this now. So your J sub T, okay, your J sub 1 is negative J 26.52 times J sub 2, which is 10, plus J 30 all over. Okay, so J sub 1 is negative J 26.52 and plus J sub 2, which is 10, plus J 30. Okay, so we simplify it first, but it is much better for us to convert this to polar form, the numerator part. So what is the polar form of this one? Negative J 26.52, so that will be 0, comma, in my calculator, no? The real part of that is 0, and then we have 26.52 equals 26.52. What is the angle? The angle is negative 90. Okay, so since that has no real part, and that's why that will be it will give us negative 90 degree value for your angle. And the polar form of this one is 10, comma 30. That will be 31.62 cis of, okay, 71.56 degree. Okay, divided by, so what will be the summation of your denominator? So there is no real part here, so 10 plus 0, that will be 10, and 30, which is this part, subtracted to 26.52 equals, okay, that will be 3.48. So plus J 3.48. Okay, so we simplify it more. So our ZT, simplify the numerator part. So easy to simplify. We just multiply 26.52 times 31.62. So that will be 838.56. 838.56. So the angle part we just add, so that will be negative 90, okay, plus 71.56. So negative cis of negative 18.44 degree. Okay, and we change this to polar form, the denominators part. So that will be 10, comma, polar, from rectangular to polar, 3.48. Okay, so that is 10.58 or 588 or 10.58 5, 8, 8 or 9 sees what is the what do you call this, the angle. So again, I'll have it repeat. Okay, so that is alpha f, so that is 119.187 or 19 degree. So it's easy for us to just to solve this term because it's all in polar, the denominator and the numerator. So you just divide 838.56 divided by 10.59. So it will give us 79.18 Cs of so that is 18.44 minus 19.19. So this will change sign when you put it on the numerator. It will be addition, so that will be negative 37.63 degree. So actually, this will be your total impedance, okay, for this problem. So we already solved the problem, and thank you so much for watching. I hope that you subscribe and share and like this channel. Thank you so much.